Hello everyone, thanks for joining me back on StubbleMeetsSteel. So I thought it'd be fun to do a vintage razor comparison. I haven't done one in a while. And so if you remember, I had gotten a estate grab bag sale on a bag of razors basically, and one of the ones that was in there was this 1930s new long comb, as they call it. And the reason why they call it long comb, and I'll show you both of them, is if you look closely, these edges right here, these combs kind of curl downward, versus the short comb, you can see they kind of stick more just straight outward. And I'll put a picture up there, but that's a pretty good shot there. You can see that the long comb here, they angle more downward versus this one on my right. They're more straight outward. And so when I had gotten this long comb, I was apprehensive to use it because that was basically back when, as far as I was concerned, the few open combs that I had used were rather aggressive. And one of my buddies saw all the razors in the grab bag and was like, "Hey, have you tried that open comb yet?" And I was like, "No, I hadn't really planned on it." He's like, "No, try it. Don't be scared of it." He's like, it's mild. He's like, "You're probably actually going to really like it." And boy, was he right. This was one of my first open combs that I fell in love with. It was that perfect combo that I always look for of mild and smooth, but high efficiency, and it didn't really irritate my face. I didn't feel like it was going to bite me at any point in time. Whereas the Parker 26 and the Razor Rock Slock and some other ones that I've used, for me personally, I just felt like they were just a tad too much. I can use them, they don't cut me, they don't nick me or anything. I just don't like that on eggshells, feel like it wants to bite me all the time. So anyways, I had really enjoyed this, and I showed a picture to my buddy, and he's like, "Oh, is that the long comb or the short comb?" I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about?" So then he was the one that showed me that there's a short comb. And so I was just monkeying around on eBay, the place of razor enablement, and so I saw this short comb for a hell of a deal, and I was like, you know what, I got to see what the difference is, because it's just like any razor that you read reviews on. Some people prefer the long comb, and some people prefer the short comb. So I've got these loaded up with. I figured, what better blade than a Gillette blade? I've got the super stainless, the greens in them today. So I thought that'd be fun. And some nuanced differences, it seems like all of these razor manufacturers, Gillette and Gem and all these guys, had all these mid-production changes. And I noticed that the handles on these ones, these are both considered the barbell handle, but if you look really carefully, the knurling and the stripe design is a little bit different. And then I noticed right here on this one, it has kind of like a raised bump before it flares up there, whereas this one doesn't have that. So a little bit differences there. And I'll put a picture up too, but another difference that I noticed is these are all new heads that basically, they call it new because it has this slot here. And if you look on the side here, there's a reciprocating notch right here in the middle that this line basically not lines into the head. That's why they call it the new head, because it doesn't have those pins that stick down like the real old ones had pins that basically went all the way through the blade and everything. And so anyways, I noticed that on all three of these, I've got two long combs and this short one now. All of these are a little bit different. One of it goes all the way through, one is just on the top and on the bottom. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I wonder if it's like the Tex, where there was 8 million variants of the Tex. These are both USA made ones. There's also on these long comb ones, I know that there's a flat bottom British made one. So anyways, let's get into it. For today's soap, I haven't used a Hoffmanns soap in a long time. One of my buddies sent me this, and this is the Artificial. It's a tallow-based soap, and for me, definitely the prominent notes. I get a lot of floral off of it. It's definitely bergamot and jasmine are the strongest notes that I pick up on for sure. And being honest, I had a heck of a time face lathering it the other day, so I did a bowl lather today, and it already feels quite a bit better, so I'm happy that I chose that. I had an AP Shave Co. Tuxedo knot, and that one doesn't splay quite as well, and so yeah, I just had a heck of a time face lathering it. So I said I'm definitely going to use a different brush, and I'm going to do a bowl lather for it. So yeah, it has a good cologne scent to it, but for me it's a little floral personally. I definitely feel that the jasmine note is pretty strong there, and the bergamot. Don't mind the dogs there. It's a dog witching hour. My neighbor's favorite pastime is leaving his dogs outside to bark. So let's get into it. Let's do I'll have the copper headed one. That's going to be the long comb. I'll try to do that on the right side of my face. And the one that doesn't have all the top off of the copper there is going to be the short comb, and I'll do that on the right side of my face. So let's get started here. But yeah, honestly, this was one of the first open combs that kind of changed my opinion, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I should try some more open combs. That was actually really, really nice. And so if some of you have seen, I just did some videos on some cheaper open combs that are mild and could be used for daily shaves. And so I thought it'd be fun to compare what I felt the winner of that battle was the Goodfellas Gladio razor open comb. So I thought it'd be fun to take the winner of this shave off and compare it to a modern open comb. Because you can pick these up right around in that same $20 to $30 range, depending on what kind of shape they're in. All right, so this is the short comb on this side of my face. I definitely feel a little bit of a difference. It's not huge or earth-shattering, but it's definitely there. That was interesting. It didn't necessarily feel like the short comb had more blade feel to it, but it felt a little bit rougher to me. Yeah, bull leathering this Hoffmanns was definitely the way to go. It's definitely much slicker and more dense than it was when I did the face lather the other day. All right, this is the against the grain pass, so this should paint some nice pictures for us on how they feel differently, if any. Let's see. Okay, that was nice. The long comb side, let's try the shorty. Okay, I take back what I said. I do feel that it's a little bit more blade feel on the short comb side, creating that little bit rougher sensation. Again, it's not an enormous difference, but it's definitely something that I'm picking up on, to shaving them side by side. If I was to just shave with one day and one the next, a little bit harder to tell, but doing them side by side like this, it's definitely noticeable in my opinion anyways. let's go across the grain. Definitely smoother on the long comb side so far. I guess you can also get these in the ball end handle, but I recently got one, and you know, pictures can be deceiving. I didn't even think to check. I just assumed it'd be quite a bit thicker in diameter, the ball end one, and the one that I got anyways was only like just shy of 11 millimeters in diameter. So I think I actually like the feel of these barbell ones better, because I'm not measuring, but I'd have to say, you know, just by rough guess, it feels more like a 12 to 13 mil for sure. Seemed like I did a few passes there, chatting away. I'll try to do the same on this side. For growth, I just got the 5 o'clock shadow. I'm taking off here. Again, I kind of wanted to say or show that these can be used for daily shaves for sure. Yeah, short comb, I felt like I had to be a little more careful just right then on the mustache area. Open comb, long comb rather. Felt like there was nothing there on that part of the pass. Let's go up over here. Very nice on the long comb side. Let's try the shorty. Okay, let me get cleaned up under my nose here. Let's see where we are. There's more pickup on the short comb side, but like I mentioned, it seemed like I was babbling a heck of a lot more. And made a million passes on that long comb side right there. So that could have been me. All right, gonna get rinsed up. I'll be right back and we'll go over the two razors. All right, I put on some witch hazel. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the matching splash that my buddy sent me in a minute here. All right, so the age-old question that many people probably seem to ask, which is better, the long comb or the short comb? Well, you know, it's funny, just like anything else, you read in the, as we always say, your mileage may vary, because I had read both sides of the camp. I had read, you know, team short comb, oh, it's smoother, it's more efficient, I prefer it more. And then I heard the same from the long comb camp. And well, I'm gonna have to side with team long comb. For me, it was smoother efficiency-wise. They were so neck and neck there that I really couldn't tell the difference. One nuanced difference that somebody else did mention, and I would have to agree, the one place that the short comb seems to shine a little bit or have an edge is that it's easier to find the ideal shaving angle with the short comb, it seems. It just kind of locks on and it's just super easy to find. There's not really any guesswork. I wouldn't want to say it was difficult or I couldn't find it with the long comb, but in comparison, the long comb you have to kind of work at finding the angle just a little bit more, whereas the short comb just seems to find it itself. It's very easy to find and more intuitive, I find. But as far as smoothness and pleasure of shave, I personally prefer the long comb. One of the things I love about these razors, and you know, one of my buddies said that he did go hog wild, and you know, it seems like it's solid copper and not plated there. If somebody you know, knows differently, then you know, I'd love to know. But I think I'm gonna try doing a forced patina or shipwreck one of these, the copper part anyways. But yeah, I think these are really cool razors. You know, if you've used a Gillette Tech like me and the USA version, you found a little bit too mild and you wanted to try an open comb and you're a little worried that maybe you won't like the open comb, you know, these are really, really mild. The long comb one, especially in my opinion, is probably one of the smoothest, easygoing open combs I've ever used. I'll have to use it against the Goodfellas, but I'll be surprised if it maybe doesn't edge it out, to be 100% honest with you. And if you've seen my videos, you know that I really like that, the Goodfellas razor, so that's saying quite a bit. But don't be afraid to try an open comb, especially these. Price point on these right now is pretty awesome. You can usually pick these up, like I said, anywhere from 20 to 30. And if you fall in love with it, you could always send it off to Matt at Razor Emporium or Backroads Gold and have it replated and get it redone. But yeah, these are a heck of a lot of fun and super awesome shave. For me personally, these are my favorite Gillette. I've tried the Black Beauty, you know, super adjustable. I've tried a couple Techs. I've tried a Aristocrat. And for me personally, this is that ideal perfect razor. It's like the smoothness of a Rockwell 6-plate or a 3-plate, forgive me, but like with the efficiency of a 4 or something like that. It's just that perfect daily driver, super smooth, really enjoy it. For me, that's my top Gillette pick, hands down. So there you have it, the age-old debate, which is better, long comb, short comb. For me anyways, the long comb is the winner. You know, check it out if you want and see what you think. I'd be curious to see what everybody thinks in the comments. I enjoyed doing this shave and I think these are super cool. And I look forward to talking to everybody soon. I think I might do another fun one. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. But I have these Schick Kronas, and if you see, one has the metal tip on the end for the open and close the butterfly, and this one is the plastic one. And so some guys say that these shaved a little bit differently, and in my experience, they do. So if that interests you, comment down below and I can do a head-to-head shave of those. But in the meantime, stay tuned. I've got the Blackland Saber version 2 coming up, so I look forward to doing that. See everybody soon.